going through your mind at that point, and just how, after all that's gone on, all that went on last year, just what this moment feels like to finally get past this team?
First of all, I want to give the utmost respect, all the credit in the world to the Boston Celtics and Coach Rivers. Part of the reason, like we guys told you the other day, part of the reason why we all joined forces because of the blueprint that they laid a few years ago. Putting multiple threats out on the court at the same time and understanding how huge that is for a team that have to cover. They pushed us. They pushed us every game and, every second, every play, every minute on the court. And if we ever made a mistake, they made us pay for it. To answer your question, everything went through my mind at that point. Finally, getting over this hump against this team. Everything I went through this summer with, with the decision and deciding to come down here to be a part of this team because I knew how important team is to this sport. It's not about an individual and, everything, all the backlash I got from it. Everything. The talks me and D-Wade had, I'd be up here for 2 hours if I tell you exactly everything that went through my head, but we're just very emotional at that point, and I'm happy that we got through it as a team.
Dwayne, we mentioned this early in the series. Go back to that point last year against Boston, the end of the series, not going out in the first round again. Now you move on. How much different does it feel to know that when you have a big night, there's someone next to you having a big night, and that there is someone alongside of you, as the scores have shown through the playoffs, who scores as much as you, does as much as you? How good a feeling is that going forward for you?
Obviously, I think you're not beating the Boston Celtics. You're not beating a team like the Boston Celtics with one guy that's the focal point of offense. At the end of the season last year, I knew that. That's why I said this next year. I'm not going out in the first round. I'm not going to put myself in this position. I'm going to go out and I'm going to recruit and try to find help. I'm not too, I can say I need help. And I understood that last year, especially if you want to get by a team like this. So, when you play in this game and, you have another guy that's, over there doing the things and is capable of doing what LeBron does, not only am I a fan on the court, but it makes the game easier, obviously. We're in constant communication with each other. Like I said at halftime, when I came in, they could tell, my teammates could tell I wanted it. I wanted this game. LeBron looked at me and said, "I got your back." And, he had my back in a big way. And that's what we've done for each other all year. And, so great team win. So many different guys stepped up, they obviously won't get talked about, but James Jones, big three. Joel Anthony rebounding. Chris Bosh, big move to tie the game up on a strong finish. There's so many different guys that stepped up and helped us win this game. And Juwan Howard. Can't not mention Juwan Howard to come off the bench, play 20 minutes and, do the things that he did for us. And you look at, his stats, he's 0 for 2, and, it doesn't look like he made a big impact in the game, but he made his biggest impact as anyone. So, great team win.
Dwayne, you kind of stole my thunder there mentioning James Jones' 3, but
sorry.
But no problem. But right before that, didn't seem like anything was going right. You missed a couple free throws. LeBron, you've been in some situations where it seemed like the offense wasn't working and the ball was just stuck in your hands. What was going wrong before then? And then after that, how big was that shot just to kind of get the pressure off? Because it seemed like there was a lot of tension in the building anyway. How big was that shot just to kind of get you guys going? And then, 15 points later, you guys started to run away with the game.
But that shot was huge. Like you said, we was right there on the cusp. It was like we couldn't get over the hump, though. We had opportunities, but we just couldn't get over the hump. Whether it was missed free throws, whether it was turnovers, whatever it was, we couldn't get over the hump. And, at that point, when LeBron found JJ in transition, it was just like when he shot it, just like, we need this one to go in. And once it went in, you can feel momentum shift to our side. And then from there, this guy to my right just went off. I think he scored 10 straight, to lead us to the win.
Hey guys, congratulations on a big win tonight. Emilio Perez
Perez from Tiro Blanco. What has changed between the regular season now and the playoffs? You guys didn't seem to be able to close those games the regular season, and now you're going through like it's more easy kind of a way. What had changed emotionally from those kind of games in the playoffs?
I think just going through those situations throughout the regular season and failing and not being afraid to fail, and when you get to that situation again, taking a challenge. It was a couple of times this year where I failed. D-Wade didn't make the right play. I didn't make the right play for the team to win. We lost games like that, but as leaders, you can never be afraid to, when that challenge is put up on you again, to step up for your team. And as leaders, we've done that. So I think everything that we've went through the regular season has helped us in the postseason thus far. And it's not a situation we haven't seen, in this postseason that we didn't go through in the regular season.
I want to ask you guys specifically about Boston. What does it feel to be finally on the other end of one of these against the Celtics?
I think it feels great, honestly. I've been through a playoff series and regular season games and not having much success against these guys. And, I knew deep down in my heart, honestly, I couldn't, as much as, I love my teammates back in Cleveland, as much as I loved home, I knew I couldn't do it by myself against that team. And I knew that was the team that I wanted to get over the hump against. Just to look at those guys, seeing multiple threats, going against them in the past. And, I would go against Paul Pierce and, the battles I had with Paul and Ray would go off and Rondo would go off and KG would go off. And it's like they were just sending waves and waves and waves of talent at you. And I knew at that point that I had to get with some guys that, could match them as far as talent-wise and mentally loving the game and wanting the game just as much as they did. So, it feels great.
No question about it. There's so much respect, between both teams. Obviously, like LeBron said, when we went into the summer of 2010, or the summer of LeBron, whichever y'all call it, when we went into the summer, obviously the Boston Celtics was on our mind heavily. And, when you decide, whether people think it's a lot or not, but you decide to give up $17 million, when you decide, to not care about yourself and go out and team up with a guy like LeBron and a guy like Chris and myself, you want to win. And the Boston Celtics have laid the blueprint for us to show us how to do it. And, hopefully, we can continue to carry on, the blueprint that they laid.
I want to follow up by asking, you guys have talked a lot about what it means to be on the court with each other as scorers, as players, but what did it mean to do this tonight with one of your best friends next to you?
It means everything, honestly. It's part of the reason why I came here, not only because of his talent, because of the friendship that we had, and a lot of people doubted, and say we play the same game. They both dominate the ball. How can they play together? A lot of players, a lot of our players in the league came out in the press and said it can't work. It's going to be a disaster. So, we knew we're two unselfish guys, and we knew for the better of the team that we was going to make it work. It was just going to take time. So, to be having this success so far, got a lot of work to do still. We're not taking that for granted, but to have this success so far in the postseason with one of your best friends, it means a lot.
Dwayne, yours and LeBron's incentive was to follow Boston's blueprint. The memory you left them with will be something for them to follow coming in the next season, will it not? I mean, when you get flushed out 16-0 and put out of the playoffs, as good of players as they are and as good a group as they have, I'm sure you guys will be counting on seeing them down the road next season somewhere.
Well, obviously, it's this saying out about changing of the guards. But like we said, yesterday, Boston Celtics ain't going nowhere. The Los Angeles Lakers ain't going nowhere. These teams aren't going nowhere just because they're not advancing anymore. So obviously, this summer, those Hall of Fame guys, that organization is going to be driven, by this series, and we wouldn't want any other way, whatsoever. If we would have went through this playoff and not been able to play Boston, at any point, it wouldn't have been right. So, they gonna continue to drive us. We're gonna continue to drive them, but we're trying to get to where they at. They're 17 championships. We have one. We got a long way to go. So